Plenty of women came into Elvis Presley's life, but only one seemed to reach him on a completely different level. The moment Ann-Margret stepped onto the set of Viva Las Vegas, people noticed a connection that felt far too real to be acting. The chemistry between them was electric, effortless, and impossible to ignore. And decades later, Ann-Margret's own words only added more mystery to what really happened behind the scenes. Before the fame, the glamour, and the Hollywood spotlight, Ann-Margret's story began far away from America. She was born on April 28, 1941, in a tiny village in northern Sweden near the Arctic Circle. Long before she became one of Hollywood's biggest stars, she was simply a quiet little girl growing up in a world of endless winters and small-town simplicity. Her father, Gustav, had once lived in America and dreamed of returning. Eventually, he left Sweden alone to build a better future in the United States while his wife and daughter stayed behind. Years later, when Ann-Margret was 6, her mother finally brought her to Chicago to reunite the family. The transition was difficult. She barely spoke English and suddenly found herself surrounded by strangers in a completely unfamiliar country. But instead of retreating, she pushed herself harder. She studied constantly, determined not to feel different. Before long, the shy Swedish immigrant was winning spelling bees and proving she had a drive few people could match. As a child, she discovered a natural talent for dance and performance. Her mother worked tirelessly, sewing costumes by hand so her daughter could continue chasing her dreams. But life soon became difficult after her father suffered a devastating workplace injury that left him unable to work. Her mother took a job at a funeral parlor just to keep the family afloat, while Ann-Margret escaped into music, dancing, and performing. Ironically, her first opportunities came through radio, where audiences couldn't even see her famous beauty. She appeared on amateur programs and local shows while slowly sharpening her skills. Eventually, she joined a singing group called the Subtletones and performed in Las Vegas at the Dunes Hotel alongside stars like Tony Bennett. Her performances quickly caught attention. Legendary comedian George Burns saw her perform and immediately recognized something special. He later said audiences were captivated before she even sang a note. By 1961, Ann-Margret's career exploded. RCA Victor signed her to a record deal, and her debut album earned a Grammy nomination. At the same time, Hollywood came calling. 20th Century Fox offered her a major contract, launching her film career almost overnight. Her breakout moment came with Bye Bye Birdie. Although she wasn't supposed to be the film's main attraction, the camera loved her. Every scene lit up the moment she appeared. Critics noticed immediately, and audiences couldn't stop talking about the fiery redhead with unstoppable energy. But while her career soared, her personal life remained complicated. Fame brought pressure, relationships, and constant public attention. Yet nothing would compare to what happened when she met Elvis Presley. In 1963, MGM cast Ann-Margret opposite Elvis Presley in Viva Las Vegas. The producers needed a leading lady capable of matching Elvis's charisma and screen presence. Most actresses disappeared beside him. Ann-Margret didn't. The first time they met was on a nearly empty Hollywood soundstage. Elvis extended his hand, smiled, and at the exact same moment, both of them said they had heard a lot about each other. They burst out laughing instantly, and the awkwardness vanished. That simple moment became the beginning of one of Hollywood's most unforgettable romances. Before filming even started, they recorded songs together at Radio Recorder's studio. The chemistry was immediate. When cameras finally rolled in Las Vegas, everyone on set noticed something unusual. Elvis and Ann-Margret weren't simply acting like two people in love. They genuinely seemed connected in a way neither of them could hide. Crew members saw them holding hands between takes, disappearing together during breaks, and constantly laughing around one another. Their chemistry on screen came naturally because it already existed off camera. According to Ann-Margret, music became the thing that truly bonded them. They moved together effortlessly, almost like they were operating on the same rhythm. Every dance sequence felt instinctive. Every performance carried real emotion. But their connection went deeper than attraction. They shared similar personalities and interests. Both loved motorcycles. Both valued privacy despite living in worlds where privacy barely existed. Both cared deeply about family and faith. Elvis's inner circle, later known as the Memphis Mafia, usually kept outsiders at a distance. But Ann-Margret fit in naturally. She treated everyone warmly, made people laugh, and understood Elvis in ways few others did. Soon, they all adored her. Away from the cameras, Elvis revealed a softer side of himself. Late at night, the two would drive into the hills overlooking Los Angeles and sit together beneath the stars for hours. In those quiet moments, Elvis dropped the superstar image completely. Ann-Margret saw his insecurities, his exhaustion, and the pressure he carried every day. Still, their relationship faced growing tension behind the scenes. Rumors spread that director George Sidney was giving Ann-Margret too much attention in the movie. Some people around Elvis worried she was beginning to overshadow him. Even theaters reportedly started placing her name above Elvis's on certain promotional material. That became a major problem for Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, who refused to let anyone rival Elvis's spotlight. Stories later claimed Parker even pushed to remove musical duets from the film to make sure Elvis remained the clear center of attention. Despite the professional tension, Elvis and Ann-Margret's relationship only grew stronger. According to people close to them, they genuinely fell deeply in love. But there was one painful complication hanging over everything: Priscilla Presley. Priscilla was still waiting for Elvis back at Graceland, and deep down, both Elvis and Ann-Margret understood the situation could never fully last. Even Ann-Margret later admitted that despite how strong their connection felt, Elvis's life had become too complicated. Still, the romance continued for over a year after filming ended. Friends claimed Ann-Margret quietly visited Elvis at his California home late at night. The two reportedly exchanged private nicknames and stayed deeply connected long after the movie wrapped. Then in 1967, their love story finally reached its ending. On May 1, Elvis married Priscilla Presley in Las Vegas. In a strange twist of fate, Ann-Margret married actor Roger Smith only 1 week later in the same city. Yet even after the romance ended, the bond between Elvis and Ann-Margret never disappeared. Throughout the 1970s, they continued supporting each other from afar. They attended each other's shows in Las Vegas and remained close friends for the rest of Elvis's life. What began as passion eventually transformed into something deeper, lasting affection and mutual understanding. But behind the glamour, both struggled privately. Elvis slipped further into prescription drug dependency, while Ann-Margret battled alcoholism. She later admitted entire periods of her life became a blur where days and nights blended together. Thankfully, she eventually overcame those struggles. Tragically, Elvis never escaped his. By 1977, rumors about Elvis's declining health had become impossible to ignore. When Ann-Margret asked Elvis's close friend Joe Esposito how he was doing, she sensed the truth was far worse than anyone admitted. Then came August 16, 1977. The night before, Ann-Margret had opened a show in Las Vegas. For years, Elvis had always sent flowers or telegrams before her performances. This time, nothing arrived. The silence unsettled her immediately. The next morning, the phone rang with devastating news. Elvis Presley was dead. Despite warnings to stay away because of the chaos surrounding Graceland, Ann-Margret went anyway. When she arrived, she shared an emotional moment with Elvis's father, Vernon Presley. Neither could fully express what they were feeling. Instead, they simply held each other and cried. During that heartbreaking moment, Vernon quietly told her how proud Elvis had always been of her. Only months later, Ann-Margret hosted NBC's tribute special honoring Elvis. Even after a lifetime in show business, she later admitted it became one of the hardest experiences she had ever endured. For her, it wasn't just another television appearance. It was saying goodbye to a man she had once loved deeply, someone she believed very few people ever truly understood. Their story has remained unforgettable for decades because it wasn't built only on fame or scandal. It was about two people who connected at exactly the right moment in each other's lives. Two stars who understood the loneliness behind celebrity better than almost anyone else around them. And maybe that's why, even after all these years, people still look back at Elvis and Ann-Margret and wonder what might have happened if life had gone differently. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Prestige Buzz, hit the bell notification, and stay tuned for more untold Hollywood stories, legendary romances, and hidden truths behind the world's biggest stars.